Hey guys, today's Sunday, October the 1st of 2023. I'm going to go over the dollar, the energy, and the metals. So without any further delay, let's get into it. As you can see, crude oil is just still holding that 33.3% Gann ratio at 89.17. On the weekly, it's above. The squeeze indicator is still positive. However, the daily is losing momentum because we're just kind of chopping around here, but so far it's strong. It looks like it may go to test 99, pretty much $100. It's on projection to go up there. So we'll see how this week where we close. However, RBOB gasoline got this nice slam to the downside. It looks like the path of least resistance is down. It looks like it may want to go ahead and kiss 227, 225 and see if that holds to maybe get a bounce. But if not, that fails. Your next one will be 202. You can see it in the on the daily A, B, C correction. So that's what looks like it's playing out. On natural gas, chop fest, but so far looks like it wants to push higher. New contract kicked in. Wants to test 301, 302. Have you been watching my videos? The gap fill and all the other ones I've been showing. There's a lot of things coming up in the mid October, so keep your eyes on that. Looks like we're in a squeeze play since 8:21. Well, we've been in a squeeze play in a while. It's just off and on, you know, fake outs on the weekly. And so far, you can see that there's a little weakness coming in. So we'll see. I'm speculating that maybe we'll get a dip into the midpoint of October and then a nice pop, but that remains to be seen. Heating oil looking good above the trend line, but kind of getting a little weakness. You can see the histogram just turned blue, and the color of the candle and the Hikanashi weekly candle has filled in, but still positive. The trend is still up. Mobile vans are still positive, but you can see there's a little weakness on the daily. You can notice it even more where it's just now chopping between this range of 350 all the way to 326. Let's go to the metals real quick and see what's cooking there. As you can see, the metals are getting slammed to the downside. We lost control of 1901, and this is the weekly, and it's on a squeeze play. Looks like the pressure now is to the downside. Targets for me will be 1825 and see what happens there. Once we get there, if it holds, go sideways, maybe bounce back up, retest this trend line. But if that fails, then your next one will be 1678 all the way to 618. But we'll take baby steps for now. As you can see on the daily, they really flushed it. So if you're short, I would continue to stay short. Silver, uh, silver is actually not that bad. It hasn't even taken out 22 yet, which is this pivot low right here. It's been chopping back and forth in a squeeze play on the weekly, and you can see the volatility. Look at that candle on the daily, very wild. Trying to hold and at least get above these trend lines, but it's having a tough time. So it looks like we got to see if 2226 is going to hold for next week. Copper, I'm staying away from it. It just doesn't know what it wants to do. Look at the squeeze play. I mean, it's crazy. It's all these squeeze plays. This one triggered short, but all these weeklies, it's just a lot of chop. It's like, what the hell? Nobody wants to decide where they want to push this thing or at least trend or go. It's like if we're gonna go down, let's go down. Not all this back and forth noise. It just shows that the fight, the bulls, gold bugs want to push it higher, and the gold bears want to just push it lower. Copper's in that same situation. Squeeze play, but it looks like the explosion was to the upside, and now it's now wants to go down. Even though on the daily you got this nice little pop. So you got a positive here, but we got to close at least above 378, at least to consider it maybe even testing this trend line up here, but then probably back in Chop Fest. Palladium, just Chop Fest. You can see it from 1348 all the way to 1180, just back and forth in the mobile bands, which is pretty much the noise barrier. And on the daily, it's just a lot of head fakes, so this is more just all this whole chart right here is just for scalpers. in and out, in and out, in and out. Nothing about trending, nothing about buying a position and going to sleep because you think, it's just going to trend up or trend down. It's just back and forth. So if you can stomach that back and forth and, have wide stops, then, this is the kind of environment where you make money. It's pretty much the computers are making the most money here with all this back and forth. Let's look at the dollar real quick. This King Dollar is King Dollar. It's above 105.88 as of now. Let's see how this week goes. But you know what? It's chugging along. It's chugging along. If it could hold 105.88, that's going to be more pressures, and maybe even the equities are going to push lower. And there's a weekly cycle that goes down, hits somewhere roughly around September 30th of 2024. So that cycle is down. However, the daily is up. So we could continue going up to like around November, towards mid or end November, and then maybe stall. So we have a lot of headroom to go. I mean, there's some pivots here of 110, and you got this Gann fan, and then this is, little cluster right here. And I mean, not the all-time high, but the high of 114 way back here. I mean, I don't know if that's going to make it all the way. I mean, it could. You just never know what could happen between the world and now. But keep an eye on the dollar. If we lose 105.88, which is this pivot high, then maybe the metals could maybe bottom, find a little base, and maybe retrace, and maybe it pulls back because this is a very strong move to the upside. I mean, if you look at it, look at the dips. Since the move came, this is a strong dip, so I maybe I count this one. There's a few ones, but nothing strong. Kind of this reminds me of this dip. This hasn't really, formed yet. So you got two little, weak ones, but you had a strong one, and it was because we were at the center of gravity. So they wanted to push it below the midpoint, but they couldn't. So now you're above it. So this is probably going to play out here. Maybe they want to try to push that this week down. But if you get another PPS buy signal, it's going to do another leg up. And that's where it's going to show the real move. It's going to stop all these guys that thought maybe we're going to go down and got to play this little pattern right here over here. So we'll see. But 105.88 is the line in the sand for you guys who are bulls. If you guys could hold that above there for next week and take out 106, it's going higher. I wouldn't surprise me if we're going to go see 110, which that means more pressure for the metals. Did I miss somebody? Like I do. I haven't done this in a while. Platinum. Good old platinum. Platinum is this is the weekly. Yep. 882. Just chop. Although you get some nice swings here on platinum, but now it's just kind of narrowing in and nothing really exciting there. It doesn't want to go up, it doesn't want to go down. And you've been in this range since June. So imagine being in a trade of chop suey right here. It's frustrating. What else? I think that's it for me. I was probably gonna go over natural gas, but you guys are probably swamped of all that stuff. Gonna let you breathe. I just want to do a little quick video. I'm just kind of what I'm seeing. Did I cover everything? Yeah, the dollar, all the metals, all the energy sector, uranium. Man, you gotta guys keep an eye on uranium. It's moving. Very interesting. Very interesting. Interesting that it's kind of concerning me because man, that's an explosion. We're already kissing 73 on uranium, and I got a target of 77. And there's a lot of things cooking there. November, 7-year cycle. It's going to be fascinating. I'm very excited to see how this is all going to play out, and if it's going to continue going higher. But hopefully you got a great weekend. Hopefully you had some fun with the family or with your loved ones, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on the dollar, the metals, the energy sector.